What's up, sports bettors? It's a lighter day in the NBA, so what I'm going to be sharing with you is a couple player props that I locked in. So we have 3 games today. And again, browsing odds, which is the core of sports betting, finding value. You're just like an investor. People don't get that, but they really should start to internalize it is as a profitable sports bettor, you're literally like an investor and you're hunting for value. For example, if you want to bet on the Knicks Pistons game tonight, you should be placing your bet on BetUS if you want to go with the Pistons money line. If you're placing bets at, plus 165 when there's other sports books offering plus 175, you're getting ripped off. You're getting ripped off, right? It's that simple. And if you're an investor who's getting ripped off or a trader who's getting ripped off, you're obviously not going to make money. And it's no different in sports betting. You always got to look for value. So first, we can start out. I'll take you through an NHL play that I locked in for tonight. So this play I found on the OddsJam screen. So this is called a screen, and what I like about it is it lets you, browse a market. So in this case, I'm looking at shots on goal, kind of side by side, every single sports book. And OddsJam is updating these odds in real time. So what I ended up noticing, just like really quickly scanning for discrepancies, that's typically how I use it, is right here. Bo Horvat, right? If I zoom in, you can see in the Capitals Canucks game, his shots on goal line has an over or under of 3 on Underdog Fantasy. Prize Picks is half lower at 2.5. All the sports books have him slightly juiced towards the over, but just slightly, right at 2.5. So every sports book has his line at 2.5. Prize Picks has his line at 2.5. Underdog has his line at 3. So if Bo Horvat, let's say, because I'm taking his under, if he has 3 shots on goal, I'm going to push on Underdog Fantasy. And anyone who were to play this on, a sports book or Prize Picks, they're losing. And it's not like the over is heavily juiced on these sports books. It's very slightly juiced. So long story short, this is a big line discrepancy. Right? The probability that Bo Horvat ends up with exactly 3 shots on goal is pretty big, right? His distribution is so low. His over-under is 2.5, which means most of the time, almost always, he ends up with probably 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 shots on goal. Maybe 5, like a much smaller amount of the time. So being able to get that extra half of a shot on goal is a really big deal. So that's a play I ended up locking in, as you can see right here. So if I go to pick 'em, you can see right here. I have Horvat under 3 shots on goal, Klay Thompson, some other plays I ended up locking in with it. Then I also have Cole Caulfield under 4 shots on goal for the exact same reason. So again, what's crazy about sports betting is all of these sports books, they have, kind of between them all, there's millions of odds on sports books. You can see on Underdog Fantasy, even on a slower day in sports, just how much stuff there is that you can bet on. Tens of thousands of things. Most of these plays aren't profitable, right? Because sportsbooks, they charge the vig, they charge the juice. That is their leg up on us as the sports bettors. So what we need to do is ruthlessly scan the market for these soft spots, as I call them, or just these spots where one sportsbook is slipping up. Out of the tens of thousands of odds on Underdog Fantasy, we don't need to find 500 profitable bets. We're looking for the 0.1% of plays that are actually profitable, such as the ones, I locked in. So I say this all the time, but as a sharp bettor, you're like an investor, you're looking for value, you're looking for those rare amount of betting opportunities that are profitable, and this is a market, right? The market's constantly moving. If you think about it, every lineup change, sharp action coming in, all these things are moving around lines constantly. So this market's very dynamic, So next we can go over to the NBA, and I have another bet that I locked in that I'll go through with you guys. So this time I'm looking at the player assist market in the Trailblazers game. And the play I ended up going with is right here. Reggie Jackson under 6.5 assists. So you can see I locked in my bet right here for $250. It's a part of my portfolio. I always say I form my own hedge fund of mathematically profitable bets every single day, which you can really see is what I try to do. I have UFC bets, I have soccer bets on the World Cup. I have some parlays, which are this is part of a promo. I have a positive EV parlay. All these plays, a lot of them I'm giving out on Twitter now if I don't have time to make a YouTube video. But the whole point, right, is just like the same concepts of finding value in the market. It applies to any sport, and your job is just place as many positive EV bets as you can. You don't just want to place one a day. You ideally want to diversify your portfolio. In the same way people tell you to buy, index funds like the S&P 500 or something and not put all your money in an individual stock, right? It's no different in sports betting. You don't just want to find one profitable bet and put your whole bankroll on it. You want to diversify. So cool, I got some good plays on Underdog Fantasy. That's awesome, right? I have a bunch of college basketball plays. And again, I ride with you guys on all these plays, wins, losses. You can actually see, if you go to my Twitter, you can follow me. I started tracking my profit and loss. There's this verifiable bet tracker called Picket as well. It's kind of like a social community. It's just like a bet tracker that verifies all your bets. You can sync all your sports books. So I started tracking, my profit and loss there. So you can also follow me on there. If you go to Twitter, you'll find the link. But again, like all of these plays you'll see on Picket, you'll also see that bet tracker app. You'll also see, if I don't have time to make a YouTube video, I'll try to post as many as I can to Twitter explaining why I like these plays. Like here, I'm explaining, here's another example. I took Cole Caulfield under 4 shots on goal. You can see all the sports books have his line at 3.5. Maybe slightly juiced towards the over, but most sports books don't even have juice towards the over. So we got some good value. So next play I went with is Reggie Jackson under 6.5 assists. So we got this on Caesars, as you can see, at plus 116. No other sportsbook is giving you odds better than plus 105. So this play, for the sportsbooks I use, is the highest profit margin bet, and I typically just filter to see the highest profit margin plays first. It has a 3.7% profit margin, and you can see, minus 105, plus 105, minus 102, minus 105. Like, really, no other sportsbook is giving us kind of the market consensus is it should be slightly juiced towards the over, but getting plus 116 is ridiculous value on the under. You can see that Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they only have the over at minus 118 and the under at minus 112. So they basically, have the over and under at roughly equal odds. So looking across the entire market, it's pretty clear, and this is exactly what we want. We treat every sportsbook as an independent data point of where the line should be set. And then we're just like an investor. We're looking for value. And being able to get this play, Reggie Jackson under 6.5 assists at plus 116, is clearly pretty incredible value. So long story short, I ended up locking it in, as you can see right here. So hopefully this video was helpful. You can see kind of the math here. I hit this for $250, Reggie Jackson under 6.5 assists. This play has a 3.7% profit margin. So my bet has $9.25 in profit margin in dollars. You just take your stake, you multiply it by your edge or your profit margin. And our bet has $9.25 in EV, in expected value. So then my goal, right, as you can kind of see with these other 22 open bets, is I just try to place as many as I can on a daily basis. It's really that simple. Like if you flip a coin, that's 55% to show up on heads, it's still 45% to show up on tails. But if you flip that coin a million times, what you're going to notice is over the course of the long run, if you have the edge, you're going to make money, which is exactly what you kind of see. If you follow me on any of these bet tracking apps that track profit and loss like Picket, or just from these videos, where we've been tracking profit and loss, is not every day is a winning day. We have some brutal losing streaks, but over the course of the long run, we're making good money. So hopefully this video was helpful. A 3.7% return, how you have to think about it as a sharp bettor is like you're earning a 3.7% return on capital in one day. This game is tonight. So people are always like, oh, invest in the stock market, you're going to get roughly 8% a year. This is 3.7% in a day. If you think about over the course of a month, placing 3.7% EV bets, It's like an 100% ROI, right? 30 days, 3.7% return. You should be able to double your bankroll basically every month with OddsJam. All you have to do is, it's not passive income, is take the time to go through and place enough positive EV picks. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make some money.